Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I will be teaching you guys a little bit of the basics of archery and how to assemble a Olympic recurve. I have been doing archery for 5-ish years now and I've always shot Olympic recurve. Olympic recurve does not mean it's like my bow is like an Olympian or I'm an Olympian. Olympic recurve is just the name of the bow. But Olympic recurve is the only one out of the 3 styles in target archery that goes to the Olympics. If the 3 basic styles in target archery are barebow, Olympic recurve, and compound. Barebow is the most traditional. It's, you know, what we see in like movies and like Katniss Everdeen, I think that's her name, from Hunger Games. That's what she shoots. That's like very, very traditional. There are some like modern barebows now. I'll put a picture right here. And then the more advanced version of a barebow is called an Olympic recurve. It's where you have a sight, which is something that helps you aim. That's like the biggest difference. But also, while I was editing, I felt like I realized I didn't complete my sentence. So a sight helps differentiate between a barebow and a recurve, because barebows are not allowed sights and recurves are. And then I also didn't complete my sentence about stabilizers. So stabilizers are like the big rod things, and they basically have weight on the bow. They add weight to the bow so you can't move it as much, and most barebows can't have that. And then the third type is compounds. Compounds were like, they're very different. They were invented in the 1960s and they use the pulley system with cables, and they're like very different. And the pulley system allows for like you require less weight to hold the bow like after you pull it, while a barebow or Olympic recurve, the further you keep pulling the bow back, the further, like the more strength you need. I have always used Olympic recurve. I've never like competed with a compound or a barebow. I started out as a barebow because like almost no coach is going to give you a sight like the first time you shoot. But then I switched to recurve like the second I got a chance to, and I have only ever shot compound for fun. I think it's fun to shoot, I just don't think it's for me. So to a recurve bow, there are 4 main parts. There is the riser. This is the part, this is called the grip. This is where you hold the bow. This is called the window, and this is the rest. This is where you would keep the arrow. This is called a plunger. That tells you if the arrow should sit straight, should be a little bit left, a little bit right. This is where my sight is gonna go. And this is where my stabilizer and my V-bars and my sidebars are gonna go. This is where the upper limb, which is one of the important parts, my upper limb is gonna go, and then this is my lower limb. So how you put the upper and the lower limbs onto the bow are you just take a little part with this. Wow, I really did not film this very well. Okay, basically to put the upper or the lower limb onto the riser, there's a little circle part on the limb that has to fit into the riser like a puzzle piece. And so you push those 2 together, and then once you push them, like you slide them in together, it like makes a little click sound, and then you know that it's like clicked in properly. Part with the circle, and you just snap it in. So I have the Winners Delta F3 limbs. I'll like put in the information because I low-key forgot the size. Oh, I think they're, snap them in, and then I'm going to do the same thing at the top. And so that my bow's too long for the camera, but this is how like the basic bow. As you can see, like this is where the recurve name comes from. And now I'm going to teach you guys how to string the bow. So if your bow is usually like 18 pounds and under, usually an adult can string the bow without a stringer. I'll explain what a stringer is in a second, how you use it, but my bow is, like the poundage I pull back right now is 26 or 27 pounds, so I do need a stringer. I get my string custom made from one of my coaches at my archery range. So my string, I get to choose the colors. They're pink and blue. I've been getting pink and blue strings since I was in 5th grade. I'm a junior in high school now. So what you do is the twists in your string matter. Like they change where your string, like it changes your brace height, which is, it's an important thing. Like unless if you're like a beginner, it matters. So to preserve the twist, what you do is you take the two hoops and you just put one into the other. So it's just like that. And then you take the one that was like on the outside, like the one that went inside, you put the other one inside that one, if that makes sense. So it looks like that. So I usually just do it twice. If your hoops are big enough, you can do it 3 times. It's just to make sure that the twists stay twisted. Usually there will be a bigger loop and a smaller loop. You always put the bigger loop on the top. How do you know the top is the top? Because the top is where the window is. This little section is the window. And if you're Olympic recurve, then you'll have a little sight, and then you just slide the string on. You usually want to put on the top first, and it's going to slide down all the way right here. It's not going to reach up here. You're just going to slide it all the way down. And then you're going to take the bottom hoop, and you're going to put the bottom hoop at the bottom. Just like that. And then there is, so you can't really see because my link, oh, there we go. Maybe the lighting is gonna work. There's a little groove right here, so you always want the string to sit there. And so now the string looks like this. And I'm just gonna move this up now. Now I've put the string on the other side. Let me go get my stringer really quick. So my stringer is just like a regular stringer from, I think, Amazon. I did not get this one from Lancaster. So a bunch of stringers look really, really different. Like some of them have 2 of these parts. Some of them have like, this is like literally made out of string. So it just depends on what you have. Usually there will be a loop, and then there will be a little thing that like you put the bow into, like that. So now that I have gone a little bit to the further angle, you can see both ends of my bow. You're gonna take the loop, the little loop that you have on one end of your stringer, and you're gonna put it on the top. The top is where you did not put the string all the way at the end. You brought it or like you slid it down, and you want to put it, so the string is right here. You want the stringer to be a little bit behind the string. And now, oops, and remember you have to keep the string in the groove, and then you take this part of your stringer and you just cover it right on top. But you want this part of the string to be at the bottom of the bow. You do not want it to be on the top. You make sure it's still in the groove. Now this is like the important part. This is the part that you can't mess up. You do have to stand up for. So this is the stringer. You're gonna put 1 to 2 feet. Okay, so just so you can get like how you're supposed to use your feet, you have to, remember you have to keep the string close to where the stringer where the string is. So for me, the string is right here. And then I'm moving up the stringer near the string, but not past the string. It should be before. Now you're gonna put 1, or you could put 2 feet on the stringer. And now you're gonna pull this part up. So I'm just gonna keep one hand here so that this part doesn't move. And you're just gonna pull up, up, up as much as you can. I don't like using 2 feet, I like using 1. It's just easier for me. You have to find whichever one fits you best. So as you're pulling, pulling, pulling,
and then you use your other hand to push the string into the groove.
To the edge. And then you have to make sure the string is in the groove. And then you make sure that the string is also on the groove on this side as well, which it is. And that's it. That's how you string a recurve bow. So this is what a bare bow also looks like. Currently the only things on my bow is this thing. So usually if a bare bow is like a modern bare bow, then they'll have weights right here. And everyone has a plunger. Maybe it doesn't look the same. I have the biter plunger. This is the quick disconnect by, I think it's AEE, for my stabilizers. And then this is my Excel sight. You don't see it. I haven't put it on yet. I think that's going to be my next step. Some people also put their weights up here. I don't have like my riser does not have a place for that, but I know some people's do. This is a WNS Motive FX blue riser. I've had it since I started archery 5 years ago, and I love it very, very much. And yeah.
This is my sight. It is a Excel sight, and this is the thing that differentiates a barebow and Olympic recurve. Olympic recurves are allowed to have a sight, barebows are not. To assemble my sight, I unscrew this screw just so that I can easily slide in the other piece. The other piece is in the back. I'm double checking with my thumb to make sure that the screw has come out all the way so I can slide it in. This is my pin. This is what I use to aim. It's literally smaller than my finger. And now I can just slide this in, and then I'm going to tighten the screw at the top so that my pin does not move. I can always use the screws to adjust it left and right, and that's how I assemble my sight.
Sight is by Excel. I'll put the exact name like down in the description or somewhere. And then I also have a clicker. So the blade on my clicker is from Biter, but my actual clicker is from AAE. And so what you have to do is you just screw it in. So my sight has 13 holes that you could screw it into. And I usually go into hole 13 for indoor, and then for outdoor I go as close as I can.
The next part is the stabilizers. So I've zoomed in on my quick disconnect. My stabilizers and my V-bars are from Hot Rods by AAE. So the first step is to just unscrew this little piece, and now you can just easily slide it in. It's like a key, and then you just tighten it back down so that it doesn't fall off. And you're going to do the same thing with the V-bars, also by Hot Rods AAE. Unscrew the little black top. I usually tighten it, some people don't. I tighten it so I don't lose it. Again, slide it in just like a key. And then you do the same thing for the second V-bar. You unscrew the little thing. So my front bar has 4 ounces of weight, and each of my back bars have 2 ounces. So in total I have 8 ounces with my stabilizer and my V-bar. The stabilizer helps basically, stabilize the bow so you don't move your front arm as much.
So this is what my bow looks like. It's a recurve bow. It's an Olympic recurve. Olympic recurve does not this is the kind of bow that is in the Olympics. This is what you see Brady Ellison or Deepika Kumari shoot.